You know him from television, but Anderson Cooper is also an author, and his latest book is about his family, a family with a name once synonymous with the word wealth. He talks with our Mo Rocca about the rise and fall of the Vanderbilts.
So all this is just a small amount of stuff from my mom's storage units.
For the past 15 years, CNN anchor and 60 Minutes correspondent Anderson Cooper has been sorting through his mother's treasures.
She was a completely different person then.
Cooper's mother was Gloria Vanderbilt,
My new stretch denim jeans and
known for her designer jeans, and as the so-called poor little rich girl at the center of an infamous Depression-era custody battle between her own mother, also named Gloria, and Aunt Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney.
Yeah, this I just found recently. This was the headline of the Daily News, July 4th, 1935, Gloria loses child.
Custody
after
battle.
the trial. This is her. She's the age that my son is right now. This is the day her father died.
Oh, there she is with her father.
Yeah.
Gosh, do you look at that guy and go, wait, hold on a second. He's my grandfather.
I know.
It's like
It's crazy.
a completely different
It's
universe.
it's another world.
Another world where the Vanderbilt name was synonymous with enormous wealth and privilege, a name that Cooper says he didn't want to be associated with.
I felt like no good could come of me paying attention to them. The Vanderbilts, when I was a kid, seemed kind of like layabouts. I knew they had all these houses and they were museums now, but it had no reality in my life.
But after his mother's death in 2019, and then the birth of his son, Wyatt, in 2020, Cooper decided to delve into that side of his family history, documenting it in a new book. The Vanderbilts came to the New World from Holland in the 17th century. The first generations here were farmers.
Is it kind of funny to you that you've ended up living not so far?
It's weird. I will say, when I started doing research on the book, I had no idea that the Commodore had lived right here.
Then came Cornelius, a.k.a. the Commodore.
So Commodore Vanderbilt was a really extraordinary person. I mean, he grew up on a farm in Staten Island.
Cornelius left school at age 11 and made his first fortune in shipping.
He built from one small little boat of moving supplies, he built an empire of steamships.
And steamships were basically just the first chapter of his career.
Right. Well, that's what's so crazy is he built two massive empires. It was late in life when he decided steamships were the past and railroads were the future, and he started buying up small railroads around the Northeast. And eventually he formed a railroad company that basically was the all-rail service on the eastern seaboard to Chicago.
Yet Cooper also discovered some unflattering aspects of his great-great-great-grandfather's character.
When I read that you described him as avaricious and pitiless, I
Yes.
thought that's blunt.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was. I actually started out thinking maybe he was a psychopath, which then I came away, after doing a lot of research on, I was like, you know, that's a little harsh. Like, who can say, really? I mean, who knows what's in someone's mind?
Right.
There's no MRI that we have of him. But he himself said he did have a mania for money, and other people have described it as a pathology, and I do think it was. It was his sole reason for being.
When the Commodore died in 1877, he'd amassed $100 million.
He had more money than the U.S. Treasury.
1 out of every $20 in circulation belonged to the Vanderbilts. By 1885, the Commodore's son William Henry managed to more than double the family coffers to about $230 million, close to $6.5 billion in today's dollars. But it was the next generation of Vanderbilts whose ambitions had nothing to do with making money.
Cornelius Vanderbilt II and his brother William K. Vanderbilt, their wives decide they're going to get the Vanderbilts to take over New York society.
And then the spending begins.
Yes, the spigots are turned on, and the spending begins.
Craving respectability, this generation of wealthy Vanderbilts spent lavishly on mansions that dotted Manhattan's Fifth Avenue and palatial summer cottages in Newport, Rhode Island. pop quiz. What was the Vanderbilt family's least favorite constitutional amendment?
Yes. Anything to do with taxes. Yes.
The 16th Amendment to the Constitution ushered in the federal income tax in 1913. Estate and inheritance taxes soon followed. But the Vanderbilt spending habits continued unabated.
I view the money as a kind of a pathology that infected subsequent generations, because I think that they all grew up with this idea that there would always be money there, and there was no need for them to actually work.
When Cooper's mother Gloria was born in 1924, her inheritance was much diminished, and she was given little guidance on how to maintain it.
This book helped me understand my mom in ways I never really even imagined, because once you see the world she was born into and the life her father led, and that the life her mother dreamed of leading, and the life that her grandfather led, you see why it was that she, grew up just spending money and thinking nothing of it.
In 1978, Cooper's father, Wyatt, died.
From the time I was a kid, I viewed myself as my mom's protector after my dad died when I was 10. My mom was a remarkable lady, but I knew she did not have a plan, and she had never had a plan.
When it came to money matters, Anderson assumed an almost parental role with his own mother.
And I would talk to her at, 13 about, there's, you can get a bank account, and you should put money in savings, and saving money is making money. And just stupid things I had read about.
You would say that at 13 years old to her?
She just never had a plan. She just felt like, I once heard, I think I was like 14 or 15. I remember I was going up the stairs in the house, and I heard her on the phone saying to a friend of hers, well, I'll always be able to make money. And I remember stopping and freezing when I heard that and thinking, we are doomed. And that, for me, was a huge factor in, I started working as much as I could. I got a job as a child model, because when you're 13, 14, there's not a lot you can actually do.
They're the upper stratas.
Gloria Vanderbilt did make her own fortune with those genes. But Anderson Cooper never stopped working.
I'm Anderson Cooper.
Work for me has been the thing which has gotten me through everything. Work has always been the one constant in my life from the time I was, working as a child model as a kid. It was something that was reliable, that helped me calm myself and, know that I was building a foundation for a life.
A life that now includes his son, 16-month-old Wyatt, to whom the book is dedicated.
I thought, I want to write a book for my son that kind of explains part of his past or his family's past. And it's an honest view, I think, at this remarkable family, which remarkable in good ways and also bad.